If you are a female, is it okay to, make the first move? Is it okay to say, hey guy, I'm feeling you. I think you're hot. I think you're handsome. Look at you. Look at your eyes. Ooh, I love those eyes. Oh la la, those blue eyes, green eyes, they my eyes, they my type of eyes, right? Is it okay for you to make the first move if you're female? What about marriage? Is it okay? I mean, you've known this guy, you've been with this guy for almost 10 years now, and he's not asking you to marry him. And what are you going to do? Is it okay for you to say, actually, I would love you to be my husband. Can I have your hand in a marriage? Right? Is it okay? Is it okay? So let me tell you something of when it is okay as a female to make the first move. This is like a general, actually, this is a general astrology knowledge. A lot of people in astrology do know about this technique of when you can make the first move as a female gender or as a feminine, because in our world now, I love my gays. I've told you guys before, I love my gays, and I have plenty of gay acquaintances. So if you are a feminine gender as well, in terms of gay relationships, then when can you make the first move? Now take both of your charts, right? If in your chart, in your natal chart, your Venus is coming before Mars, then you can make the first move as a feminine or female gender in the relationship, right? What do I mean by this? Now, let's say you have a conjunction of Mars and Venus in your natal chart, and let's say it's in Leo, because I have a stellium in Leo, right? Well, I have a stellium in Leo and in Scorpio, so I'm a very fire and water sign. I'm firing myself up and then taking the fire out by myself. But anyway, if you have Venus and Mars in a Leo, let's say, right, and then your Venus is at 5 degrees and your Mars is at 15 degrees, 10 degrees, 13 degrees, then you, the female energy, you can make the first move. However, be careful now, because if in your partner's chart it's actually the other way around, the male, the Mars energy going for the Venus, like before the Venus, then it doesn't match, because for him, the masculine energy will have to always make the first move. So this is not the guy. This is not the guy that you can do this with. But your chart allows you to make the first move, but not with this person in Synastry, right? So then you go and then you meet another guy, and then with this second guy in their own natal chart, their Venus also comes before Mars, just like yours. Guess what? Oh, now you can make the first move and you're gonna win that guy over, right? So this is also a technique that you can use in terms of marriage as well. But then remember, for marriage, we're looking at Jupiter. For Mars is dating. Mars is the boyfriend. Mars is males. Mars is our male friends, male brothers, male boyfriends. A boyfriend is like the dating vibe of Mars, because Mars, is not busy with family. I've explained this. Mars gets debilitated in the 4th house of family. Mars gets debilitated in the 4th house of building a family life, a family structure. It doesn't know how to. It's not equipped in terms of emotional stability to do this. However, when it comes to Jupiter gets exalted in the 4th house, because Jupiter likes to make family. Jupiter promotes the family life structure. So Jupiter is good as a husband, but when it comes to dating, boyfriend, Mars is good because it's that hot, passionate energy that quickly dissipates, because Mars, remember, it gets passionate right now and then it loses interest, goes passionate about something else and then it loses interest, and then all over again, right? So when it comes to marriage now, do the same, but then for Jupiter, if your Jupiter is coming after Venus in terms of degrees in the same sign, and then in your husband is the same, then you can ask for marriage. You can bend your knee and ask their hand in marriage. However, if it's the other way around, then you can't do that. So be careful of this. And then does it only apply to degrees? No, it doesn't apply only to degrees. It also applies into signs, in terms of signs, right? But then with the signs, you need to be careful now. You need to look at, is it a sextile situation whereby, let's say your Venus is in Aries sign and then your Mars is in Aquarius sign, then this is a sextile situation, right? But if it's a square situation or an in conjunction, then here it's telling you that even if you do that, even if you were to do that and they were to accept the relationship, it probably wouldn't work out in a long time, because it's an in conjunction or it's a square, meaning that challenges from the beginning of the relationship. Or maybe when you do approach, they already have somebody else, meaning that there's already an existing challenge that you have to get over. So if you are a soldier, right? If you're a soldier and there's somebody else and you trust yourself and you trust like, oh, this is my guy, like Ariana Grande does, then maybe you go that way. And if you're Rahu or Lilith, they promote this type of courage, then you could get, but then there would be an already existing challenge. So in these cases, I would just rather you don't do it, right? And just meet a guy who has an already accepting system of this, like whereby their Venus comes before the Mars energy, right? What's happening, if we have to describe it, is that when Venus is coming before Mars, it means that it's the feminine energy going towards the male energy, the masculine energy, right? So when it's going towards it, it means that the masculine energy then has to accept it, because it's going to have to pass it, or it's going to have to go through it, right? So this is how the planetary things go, right? But now let's say it's a retrograde, because now it's a problem. When it's retrograde, you need to be 100% careful. Let me plug you in. Now when it's retrograde, either your Jupiter or any of the planets, right? Any of the three planets, when one is retrograde, you must look at the position of Venus. So let's say Venus is coming before Mars or before Jupiter for marriage, right? But this Venus is retrograde. Abandon, because here your Venus is not necessarily focusing on the Jupiter that is in front of it, or on the Mars that is in front of it. It's actually focusing backwards. It's looking at, reflecting the things that it just passed, the things that it just experienced. So it's not necessarily looking at the guy, the hot mask guy in front of it, right? Or the philosophical husband Jupiter. No, it's focusing on the things that it's past. So let's say if we're talking about houses now, let's say it's sixth house and seventh house. So your situation is in the 7th house, right? Your conjunction is in the 7th house. So it means, yeah, your Venus is retrograde. It's actually focusing on work. It's thinking about, I need to get a job. I need to go to work. I need to look at my health. I need to focus on my the litigations that I have. It's not necessarily focusing on where it's going. It's supposed to be looking at like the Mars in front of it. No, its focus is backwards. This is what retrogression means, which is something I will explain to you as the time goes of how it works and everything. But for now, you get the idea of when to do the asking, whether it's for marriage or dating, right? So I hope that it helps, and I'll chat to you soon. I'll be in touch. Ciao, ciao.